Hey there, how are you? It's Dr. Daniel Davids, PT from the Traveling Physical Therapist. I wish that you're having a very happy day, a good weekend, a good everything. You've been keeping up with the exercise that I've been showing you. I wanted to make a video with 3 new activities for you to do, and these 3 are actually going to replace 3 other ones that we were doing, and that's how we're going to keep going as we move forward. We're going to be replacing other exercises with new ones so that you're not doing 25 minutes of exercise every day. Though it'd be great for you. Yeah, most people don't really want to go for that. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first 2 are going to be walking exercises. So they're both going to be done in your kitchen if possible. And they're both going to be done for 90 seconds. So the first one is going to be tandem walking. It kind of looks like this. So if the counter is here, I'm facing my side to the counter, and I'm going to walk heel to toe, just like this. Heel to toe from one end of the counter to the other. And if you can see my hand, if there was a counter here, it would be hovering over the counter, or I might even just let my fingertips touch the counter as I go, and that's actually going to help me keep my balance. Even just putting a pinky down is going to help you keep your balance. Hovering is obviously better as it's more of a challenge to your balance, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can kind of just let your fingertips graze the counter itself. And like I said, you're doing this for 90 seconds, heel to toe, as if you're walking on a tightrope, and you're going to replace the activity that you were doing last week, which is just heel to toe standing, just like this, which is challenging in itself, but not so functional. Walking in a narrow position is a lot more functional, right? We know that when we walk, it's not uncommon to take a step where we have a narrow kind of step width. So walking like this actually helps to improve your balance by practicing, so that if this happens, if you're walking and you're in a narrow kind of position, you're not going to lose your balance, right? And the more narrow our base of support is, the more likely we're going to tip over. But if we practice in that area, then the easier it is going to be for us. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is going to be sidestepping. So it looks like this. You're going to be facing your counter this time. So I'm going to face you. I'm going to be facing my counter, and it's very simple. It's much easier than the previous one. And you're going to just be stepping sideways, just like this. Okay? There you go. But here's the thing. This exercise is very easily cheated on, or I should say, you can cheat very easily with this exercise. So with this exercise, what you're going to want to do is make sure there's these 2 bones that kind of pop out on most people's hips, on everyone's hips, but not everyone can feel them so easily. But if you can feel bumps right here. So I'm feeling bumps right here on me, and these are going to be called, for today, they're going to be called our hip headlights. That's what we're going to call them for this video. Hip headlights. So our hip headlights, I'm going to be facing forward as I'm doing this. So as I'm doing this, I'm not turning my body, right, which is a very easy thing to do. So if I do this, you can see I'm still stepping sideways, but you can see my hands are moving as I'm doing it, and that's not going to be good for you. So you really want to make sure everything is straight, and you're just going sideways, just like this. Okay, good. And along the same vein is you don't want to step outwards with your foot. So you don't want to turn your foot as you're going, right? This is something we see a lot. You see my hip is moving too, but all I'm really doing is I'm trying to just turn my foot outwards as I'm going, right? So those are 2 things you want to avoid. The last thing you want to try to avoid is when you take a step, you don't need to take a very large step. You don't want to take such a large step, or even a little step where your body's doing this. You see my upper body's kind of coming off to the side? You don't want to do that. So this is no good. Even if my hip headlights are facing the right direction, this is no good, right? So take a smaller step if that's the problem, right? Or if you need to hold on, you can hold on to that counter as you're doing it to prevent that motion. What you want to do is from your belt to the top of your head should be completely straight, like Irish folk dancing, I guess, right? So everything is kind of straight, and it's just only the legs from the hips down are moving. Everything else is staying nice and straight. And again, 30 seconds for this, and 90 seconds for this. And the exercise that we're removing is going to be the one we are kicking out to the side. Okay. So just like I said with the other one, it's a great exercise. It's not terribly functional, right? So it's a good way to start to build up some strength, but it's not going to make you, it may not finish by making you walk better. It might be the activity that brings you closer to being able to do something more functional that's a little bit easier. So the last activity I'm going to show you is going to be a stretch for the front of the hip and the front of the thighs. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to grab a table here, but hopefully you have a bed that you can use and you can do this on. So let me just set this up. Okay. So I'm going to use a yoga strap for this. You can use a belt. You can use a beach towel, whatever you prefer. So I'm going to I have a little loop here. So I'm going to make this see I have a loop. Here's my little D-ring there, and I have a loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that around one of my feet. One of my foot's right here. There we go. And I have it so that the loop is on the bottom, the part where I step on. That's the part where the loop is going. It's not on the top of the foot. It's on the bottom of the foot. I'm going to just take this, put in the same hand that the leg is wrapped up in, and I'm going to lay down. Okay. Just like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a stretch for 30 seconds. One knee is going to be bent with my foot flat. This leg is going to be completely relaxed, 100% relaxed. I'm going to tighten my tummy just a little bit. I'm going to pull my belly button down towards the table, just a little bit. And then with my hands, they're going to do all the work. And it's going to bend the knee backwards, just like this. Okay? Holding this for 30 seconds. You should feel the stretch in the front of the hip and the front of the thigh. Okay? You don't need to go to the point where it's painful. Just a light stretch for 30 seconds. Now, the reason we have this knee bent is that it counter-rotates the hips, which actually helps protect the spine. So if I straighten this out, immediately it feels I can go like a lot further here, right? I can pull this a lot further if I relax this. But the problem is now my back is actually starting to come off the table a little bit. So I'm going to put this back and relax my hand here. And then the same thing with the stomach. If I relax my stomach completely, I could probably arch my back a little bit and get a little bit further. But if I tighten up my tummy just a little bit and push my belly button into the table, I am not going to be able to go as far. I'm going to feel it a lot more though. Right? And now I'm also protecting my spine, which is always a good thing. Okay? Holding this for 30 seconds, like I said, my hands are doing all the work. Right? And the other thing is my hands are not up here, which could be tiring or painful for the shoulder. This is no good, right? If you see, I just have them here, and it's just gently holding it and relaxing. Just like this. 30 seconds on either side, once a day, is all you need. So that's it. Those are that activity actually, that stretch is going to replace the the hamstring stretch, which is the stretch to the back of the thigh. And the one we're doing there, and you're not going to really be able to see it from here, is if you're sitting on a chair and you put one leg down with your heel on the floor, knees straight, sitting straight up, and just ever so lightly leaning forward, keeping your body straight the entire time. Feel a nice stretch in the back of the thigh. That's a good activity to do, a good stretch to do. It's not the be-all, end-all of flexibility. It's not the be-all, end-all of improving your walking and preventing falls. The one that I just showed you on the table, much better to reduce your risk of fall, right? So there you have it. You have 3 new activities to replace 3 older activities, and if you keep these up with the exercises I had shown you in the past and these 3 new ones, you keep these up, you're going to be closer and closer to improving your strength, to improving your flexibility, and reducing your risk of a fall. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at 646-733-4737, or you can visit us online at www.thetravelingpt.com. And I want to finish just by saying a goal that you should have in your head should be to move well, move often, and then move differently. Okay? Move well, move in ways that are healthy for your body to move. Move often, try to get moving a lot, and then move differently. Do new things, do novel things, novel ideas. So that stuff like that helps to improve your balance, helps to improve your strength, your flexibility, your quality of life in general. So that's it for me today, guys. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Take care.